of war that he has committed, the crimes of humanity, the crimes against peace that he has committed, we will not forget.
Never forget!
We will not forget the crimes that he has committed.
Yes!
George Bush has illegally invaded Iraq.
Yes!
He went into Iraq and specifically went after civilian infrastructure.
It's true!
It's a shame. He has held people without charge, without evidence.
He's held Canadians!
And he has tortured them, and this is shameful, and it is a crime. Shame on George Bush. I say Bush, you say criminal. Bush! 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 I say Bush, you say jail. Bush! 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 I say Bush, you say guilty. Bush! 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 We are here today for all the people who have died in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Haiti. We are here to remember all of the people who have been maimed, who have lost limbs, who have lost family, who have lost friends, who have had their safety taken away from them by this man, by this war criminal. My name is Colette Lemieux, and I am the co-chair of the Canadian Peace Alliance, and I'm here today to stand with you to say that war criminals are not welcome in Canada. George Bush, go home! 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 George Bush, go home!
George Bush, go home! George Bush, go home! George Bush, go home!
Take Bush to jail, not to lunch. 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 If we could have a moment, we're going to have the Raging Grannies perform. So let's all listen to the Raging Grannies perform. George Bush, War Criminal is the song we're performing, so let's please listen to the Raging Grannies.
Give George Bush a subpoena, war criminal, yes sirree. If our grandsons behaved like him, we'd put them over our knees. We'd give George a spanking, that was okay in our day, 'cause his war crimes far exceed a slap on the butt today. Oh, now wartime buccaneer, we've seen your wanted poster up, but you're not wanted here. George's lies took him to wars, have a million civilians died. We don't know how many for sure, cause when he spoke he lied. Like the bombing of civilians in those days of shock and awe, and crimes against humanity, breaking international law. Oh, now yeah, wartime buccaneers, we've seen your wanted poster up, but you're not wanted here.
Tell us what you really think of George.
Okay, one more.
Thank you, Raging Grannies! So we have some speakers here today to tell you more about why George Bush is a war criminal. Toronto. Some of them have come from across Canada to speak. The first one that we're having represents the Edmonton Coalition Against War and Racism. Please welcome Peggy Morton.
Today, we saw that the Canadian state is in violation of law. It is in contempt of international law. This is the first time that George Bush has set foot on foreign soil. He has no diplomatic immunity, he's here as a private citizen. So this is the first time that the people of the world could uphold that law which came into being because the people, after the defeat of fascism, after the Second World War, said never again. It was not the United States, it was not Britain, it was not France, it was not Canada, it was the insurgent peoples of the world who fought for peace, who said never again will we permit war and aggression. And they put that international law into place. They forced those governments to recognize that the supreme crime that can be committed is the crime of aggression. And our government today arrested Splitting the Sky, a Mohawk fighter, for doing his duty, which they would not do. He arrested him for trying to make a citizen's arrest because they refused to discharge their responsibilities. And this shows us that the Canadian government is hell-bent on continuing its course of annexation and war, of lining up behind the American empire. And so we today are here to affirm that all those slogans which we put forward in the 8 years of the George Bush regime, we stand by them today, we affirm them today. We say no to war and aggression. No means no!
No means no!
No means no!
No means no!
We say Canada needs an anti-war government.
Canada needs an anti-war government!
Canada needs an anti-war government.
Canada needs an anti-war government!
People are asking why we can't move it right in their faces. Unfortunately, we can't move the sound system. We're sorry about that. So we want to say here today that we do not accept that the crimes of the George Bush regime can be allowed to continue. And that whole crisis of credibility of the U.S., it has not gone away. So today we say that torture, rendition, background prison, all of these things which still exist, the war in Afghanistan which is being escalated, the war in Iraq which is not finished, the blockade against Cuba, the threats against Iran and Korea, we say no. We stand for peace, we stand for international law, we stand for people standing together for their rights as peoples, as nations, for their right to be, for their right to self-determination, for their right to live in peace. And that is why we are here to say that we will never accept war criminals in Canada. We will never accept a government which refuses to do its duty. And we are taking up the work today to affirm everything that we stood for in our fight against George Bush and to carry that on to the building of that new world. Thank you.